Country, we don't swear an oath to an individual or a political party. We take our oath to defend the United States Constitution. I say this to my Republican colleagues who are defending the indefensible. There will come a day when Donald Trump is gone, but your dishonor will remain.
I didn't know I had so much in common with. So, yeah, I know it's shocking. I really wanted you to come and talk about what you've done and why, because I'm always interested in what makes somebody see something and go, oh my God, I gotta tell everybody.
Ever wonder what happens when you poke a big orange bear with a stick? Well, Whoopi Goldberg and Liz Cheney just found out, and boy oh boy, it ain't pretty. Trump's throwing a tantrum that would make a 2-year-old say, dude, chill. We're talking full-on meltdown mode, folks. Orange face? Check. Twitter fingers on fire? Double check. It's like watching a human Cheeto have an existential crisis, and trust me, you don't want to miss this circus. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Alright folks, grab your popcorn because Whoopi Goldberg just dropped a truth bomb bigger than Trump's ego on The View. It's like she's been sipping on some extra strength truth serum, and boy is she spilling the tea. Picture this.
There will come a day when Donald Trump is gone, but your dishonor will remain.
Oh my God, I had no idea this is what you were dealing with.
Tonight, I say this to my Republican colleagues who are defending the indefensible. For example, to have a president who was unwilling to enforce the rulings of the courts.
Yes.
Who's just simply said, you know what, if I don't agree with the courts, I'm just going to ignore those rulings. That's the end of the constitutional republic.
I certainly have been critical of you on our show because you voted with Trump 93% of the time.
Whoopi, cool as a cucumber, sitting there in her funky glasses, ready to lay into Trump like he's a badly made cheeseburger. You know, the kind that's all bun and no beef? Yeah, that's our Donnie. And Whoopi? She's not holding back. She's firing off zingers sharper than Trump's golf pencils. And let me tell you, those things are probably the only sharp objects in his vicinity. Now you're probably wondering, what did Whoopi say that got Trump's diaper in such a twist? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because it's a doozy. Whoopi went full throttle, calling out Trump's behavior like a principal scolding a naughty kid. She pointed out how he's been acting like a big orange baby, throwing tantrums left and right. It's like watching a toddler who's been told he can't have a second scoop of ice cream, except this toddler has nuclear codes. Yikes. But wait, there's more.
Are you getting a lot of people going, oh my God, I had no idea this was what you were dealing with?
And I have to tell you guys, I've done a lot of interviews, but you guys make me really nervous. It has been, it's been very moving as an American, because I think the challenges that I describe in the book and the challenges that we face, people across the political spectrum, with the exception of some in the Republican Party, really recognize how grave this threat is.
Yeah.
Just when you thought the roast was over, in walks Liz Cheney, and she's not playing nice. Now, I know what you're thinking. Liz Cheney? Isn't she on Trump's team? Well, surprise, surprise. Turns out even some Republicans have had enough of the Trump circus. Liz came in swinging like she's auditioning for the political version of WWE. She's got the facts, she's got the receipts, and she's not afraid to use them. It's like watching a librarian go rogue, except instead of overdue book fines, she's dishing out some cold, hard truth. And how does our favorite orange-tinted, cotton candy-haired former president react to this double whammy of criticism? Well, let's just say his Twitter fingers are twitching faster than a caffeinated chipmunk. You can almost hear the hamster wheel in his head spinning, trying to come up with the perfect comeback. Spoiler alert, it's probably going to involve the words fake news and witch hunt.
He used Nazi terminology about rooting out vermin and the people coming over the border as poisoning our blood. And he's calling the January 6th prisoners hostages.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think part of it is because what he's saying is so horrible.
Yeah.
And in a way, we've become numb. We've become accustomed to sort of being able to rely on our republic surviving. And so it can become very difficult. And I hear people on the right saying, oh, you're catastrophizing.
Trump's face is probably turning a shade of red that would make a tomato jealous. He's stomping around Mar-a-Lago, his gold-plated paradise, muttering about how unfair it all is. Poor Donnie, always the victim, right? It's like he's stuck in his own reality show, but the ratings are tanking faster than his approval numbers. But here's the kicker, folks. While Trump's throwing his little tantrum, the rest of us are sitting back, grabbing our popcorn, and enjoying the show. Because, let's face it, there's nothing quite as satisfying as watching karma catch up with the guy who thought he could get away with anything.
Yesterday, Trump and his lawyers were in the courtroom.
Yeah.
Trying to claim presidential immunity from prosecution in his election interference case. And his lawyers seem to be arguing.
Well, it's without basis in the Constitution. I think that it's, as you all were talking about, completely indefensible.
You were instrumental in inspiring me to speak out, to sit down with the January 6th committee. You actually encouraged me to bring Sarah Matthews forward, Cassidy Hutchinson, who provided this critical testimony. Cassidy calls you, she says, your spine of steel.
So, what's next in this political soap opera? Will Trump fire back with a tweet storm of epic proportions? Will he claim he doesn't even know who Whoopi and Liz are? Or will he just retreat to his golf course where the only criticism he has to face is his own terrible swing? One thing's for sure, this drama is far from over. It's like a never-ending episode of The Apprentice, except instead of "you're fired," everyone's yelling, "you're ridiculous." And honestly, we're here for it. Now hold on to your MAGA hats, folks, because Liz Cheney's about to show us how Republicans roast their own. You thought Whoopi was tough. Well, Liz is like a political pit bull with a bone to pick, and that bone is shaped suspiciously like Trump's ego. Remember when Liz was the GOP's golden girl? Yeah, those days are long gone. Now she's Trump's worst nightmare, and she's not pulling any punches. It's like watching your favorite aunt go rogue at Thanksgiving dinner. You know, the one who always has too much wine and starts spilling family secrets? Yeah, that's our Liz. Trump's probably sitting there thinking, "Et tu, Liz," as she winds up for the pitch. I bet he's wishing he could send her to political timeout. But oops, she's not in Congress anymore. Sorry, Donnie, you can't fire her this time. Now picture this. Trump's face is turning redder than a MAGA hat as Liz drops truth bombs left and right. It's like watching a live-action game of Battleship, but instead of sinking plastic boats, she's torpedoing Trump's inflated sense of self-importance. Boom, there goes his stable genius claim. Kaboom, his perfect phone call defense just went up in smoke. Liz isn't just criticizing Trump, folks. She's dismantling his ego brick by orange brick. It's like watching someone take apart a Lego Death Star, except this Death Star has bad hair and tiny hands. And let me tell you, it's more satisfying than popping bubble wrap. As we wrap up this episode of The Orange Menace Gets Owned, let's take a moment to appreciate the women who dared to speak truth to power. Whoopi and Liz, you've given us all a masterclass in how to roast a narcissist. Trump might not appreciate it, but the rest of us sure do.